Hello guys, my name is Bilal and welcome to your 16th Laravel 5 tutorial. I have talked a little about migration. Hello guys, my name is Bilal and welcome to your 16th Laravel 5 tutorial. I have talked a little about migration in the previous tutorial. They are a kind of step-by-step instruction that allowed Laravel to recreate database tables and database structures. So migration is basically a way to manage database within Laravel. So in the previous tutorial, we created a model and we created a migration. So now we will look at this migration we created in the exact previous tutorial so that we can complete the process of getting our model set up to start working with and start storing our data. So first of all, you should know that the model we created is an app and we named that model as data. And now the migration we created is in database and then in this migration folder. And if you remember from the previous tutorial, we named that migration as data. So just open it, and if you look at it, it already created a table named as data, which has a column ID and it has a timestamp. So here this class create data table extends migration. So once again, Laravel created a class for migration and we gain all the power of that migration class by simply extending it. We can also add some columns. So let's add one column for the titles right here. Table. I can't type well today. This is because I was taking a bath yesterday in a watercourse or streamlet and there are plenty of slippery stones there, and I slipped there and went all down the way to the other side of the stream, and one of the shitty rock during the way punched my right hand very hard, and now I can't be able to type well for a couple of days at least. Anyways, we are creating a column for our table and the type of data that column will store will be a string, string, and the name of that column we will be giving is title. Now we created a column named title and its data type is a string. Now you may be wondering that you are incrementing the ID column here, and here you have specified the type of column which is string, and here using this timestamp function you are creating two columns, created at and updated at. What the heck is happening on, and where are you getting everything from? So I'm getting everything from documentation. So let's go to the documentation of Laravel. So open your internet browser and type here laravel.com and move to your documentation, and if you come to this database right here and then migration. So here is everything you can find about migration. There is a ton of details on migration in the documentation, but I have showed you some necessities which are used a lot. But what I'm gonna show you right now is a bit down. There it is. There it is right under available column types. So here are our commands and here are their descriptions. So here you can see that you can use big increments on IDs, but we have used a simple increment on IDs. What else we can use is that we can use integer data type and similarly small increment and small integer. Similarly, what we have used right here is this string, and this string in the documentation is here, which is this string and then the name of the column. And here is our timestamp, and what it does that it adds nullable, created at and updated at columns. So you can find everything about column types in the documentation. We will use some more in the coming tutorials. Now what we're gonna do is to create a database or create the model. Now in order to do this, we need to tell Laravel to first connect with our database, and to do this you need to have a database installed on your computer. So here in this course we will use MySQL or MySQL because MySQL is my favorite database and it's kind of forgiving as well. Now in order to tell Laravel to connect with our database, you need to first open your .env file, which is right here. So just open it, and this .env file is an environmental file, and you can see here that our app environment is local. And when we are in our local environment setting, these are the environmental settings that we have, and in here we can set our database. So this is basically the name of our database. This is the name of the database username, and this is the database password. So we're gonna create a database, but for this you need to have a database to continue. So if you come to the location where you have your XAMPP installed on your computer, I have it in my C drive. So just open this XAMPP folder, and right down at the bottom you should see this XAMPP control. So just open it. Now we need to start our MySQL and Apache module. So let's start it. And when it turns to green, it means that you have your job done. Now if you want to use command line instructions, you can, but we will not be using command line. What we will be using is GUI application that will allow us to access our database through like a graphical interface. So we have a GUI built-in application in XAMPP, and it is called phpMyAdmin. But before we access phpMyAdmin, make sure that you have your MySQL and Apache module running. So whenever you run phpMyAdmin, make sure you have MySQL and Apache running. So now let's run phpMyAdmin. For this, open your internet browser and type here localhost phpMyAdmin like this, and press enter. So now from here you can create your new database. So I already have one created named as data, but you guys create a new database by clicking on this, by clicking new and then the name of the database, which in this case is data, and then press create, and your table will be created. But I'm not going to create it because I already have my data table created. So, and now you can see that we have a database, but it has no table, but it contains no table. Now Laravel will be able to talk with our database. If you come to this privileges tab, you can see here that we have a username of root, and we have a host name of 127.0.0.1. So just open your Sublime text editor and just open your env file. So the name of our database host is 127.0.0.1, and the name of our database that we have created right here is data. So we need to type here data right here. Data, and the username you can see here is root. So just type here root, and it has no password. So just save it. So now we can connect to a database named data, which we have created here. But here you can see that there is no table in the database named data. What we need to do is to create tables using Laravel, and we have created one table if you remember. We now need to send or migrate that table we created. So let's first look where we have created our table. So let's come to our Sublime text editor, and here you can see that we have a model named data, and our tables are in database and then migration. So here you can see that there are three tables named users, password resets, and data. And the first two tables named users and password resets are built in, and that table named data is created by us. Now we need to send these three tables in our database named data. So let's just do it. So we do it by first opening our command line if you're on Windows and terminal if you're on Mac. So first of all, we need to access our project directory, and my project is in C drive and then XAMPP. I can't type well. I have already told you the reason. Laravel 5. And now what we need to write is simply PHP artisan, and now we need to migrate all of these tables. So to migrate all the tables, you just need to simply type migrate. And once you press enter, it will migrate or send all the tables to a database that we have created named as data. So let's press enter. Press enter. Migration table created successfully, and it has migrated the user table, a password reset table, and our data table. So now let's see it here. In order to see it here, we need to first refresh it. So just refresh it. So now here you can see that we have four tables named users, password reset, and data. Now you may be wondering that how Laravel come to know to migrate all of these tables that are user table, password reset table, and data table to the database named data. So Laravel come to know from .envfire to migrate all of these tables to the database name data, because we have specified that database name data in the env file. So Laravel migrate all of these tables to the database name data. And once you see these four tables right here, you are done with this tutorial. But if you are getting an error like specified key is too long, max length is 767 byte, then what you need to do is to come to your text editor and then expand this provider folder, and then just open this app service provider. And now make sure that you have this thing right here, and if you don't have it, then I have given this exact command in the description. Just copy it from there and paste it here, and also copy this thing from the description and paste it right here. And once you are done, you need to delete everything from this database name data and make it empty like this. Double click and then drop, okay, drop, okay, drop, okay, and finally drop, okay. Now there is nothing in it. Now just again come to your text editor, and again I type here PHP artisan migrate, press enter. And now you should see all of your tables migrated successfully to your database name data. And once all of your table name user, password, and password resets are migrated successfully, come down again here, come here, refresh it, and you should see these four tables named data, migration, password resets, and user right here. And once you see this, you are done with this tutorial. And now it's time for me to thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.